Yes, this is the time a lot of people have been expecting, and it is time to talk sport, the time to exercise sport, and the time to bring you entertainment, to bring you details from the world of sport. Well, nothing much happening. Some persons don't even know what's happening anymore after the leagues, but then I think so much is happening, and I'm bringing you a little detail about what's happening today from the world of sport. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course, let me quickly bring you to speed with what is happening in Manchester United, of course. Manchester United, well, it's not easy to get to where they are at this very particular point in time, but notwithstanding, some of their players will be leaving, and Manchester United forward Anthony Martial will leave the club when his contract expires at the end of June. We are already in May, and very soon June is going to be coming around, and Martial will be leaving Manchester United. Of course, the Frenchman said this, of course, this week, and he has come out to say, well, I am 28 years old and I arrived at Old Trafford from Monaco in 2015, and right now it is time for me to move out of Manchester United. I've played my part, I've done what I could, and now it is time to go. And he was able to do something very, very important, as he has already scored 90 goals in 317 games for the Red Devils. And some persons said that is not enough, and some other persons are saying that is huge compared to what some other players have done, because back then, if you want to talk about young players that are making move in Manchester United, you begin to talk about Rashford, you begin to talk about Martial. Well, recently Martial become someone that is always on the bench, but as it is right now, he's going to be leaving Manchester United, and the departure was being expected, as he had struggled with injury in the recent season. Sometimes this is one of the things that bedevil the game of sport. When it comes to injury, there is nothing you can do about that, and he had not been in the squad for months. So leaving Manchester United is not because of anything, but because his time is up, and it's better to leave when the ovation is actually high, even though his own ovation is not very high due to the experiences he's got in Manchester United, as it has to do with injury. Well, let me move away from there. Manchester United's participation in next season's Europa League is under threat. Don't forget that they actually won their game against Manchester City, and that one gave them an edge. But notwithstanding, something may happen. Someone is wondering, what have they done? What thing we don't do again? I think that's what some of the Manchester United fans may be saying right now. Let me bring you to speed with the reason why they are under threat. As a matter of fact, despite the fact that they won the FA Cup recently against Manchester City, their triumph is not going to be doing anything too serious right here, because their victory at Wembley actually secured them a spot in the European tournament for Erik ten Hag's team. However, United's place in the Europa League is under jeopardy. It's been jeopardized due to UEFA's multi-club ownership rule, which is playing against Manchester United right now. But as it is right now, which club see them banned from the competition? UEFA's multi-club ownership rule prohibits teams, of course, owned by the same organization from competing in the same tournament, and that's exactly what is playing out for them right now, despite the fact that they won Manchester City in that game. Moving away from there, let me talk about other things happening from the world of sport, because I'm bringing you update. This is what we call update from the world of sport. You know, sport ignites, sport unites. Sport is one game that can bring two enemies together. You know what I'm talking about, okay? More from the world of sport this morning. Enzo Maresca could have a new striker to work with at Chelsea should he take over there, as been expected. Well, we don't know who is going to be coming in here, but in case he comes in, it may be working for him. The Blues reportedly interested in Atletico Madrid's younger forward, and of course the Nigerian descent. Let's see how that is actually going to be playing out. If it happens, it's going to be a very fantastic one, because Samuel Omoro Dion is the man that we are talking about right here. But then let's see how that is actually going to play out, because Chelsea look closer to appointing Maresca as their new manager after making him their number one target. You know, we told you that a lot of people are right there, but then we don't know who is actually going to be coming in after the departure of their coach. But according to the reliable source, Fabrizio Romana is everything that they need right now, and anything can be happening as a matter of fact from the world of sport, and that is from Chelsea. I think at this very particular point in time we need to move to other things happening from other parts of the game, and I'm moving straight up to Napoli right now. Let's see what is happening in Napoli. So many things happening in Napoli, but then let's talk about this. The race to sign Napoli striker, talking about Victor Osimhen, is still on the rise because he's leaving his club. He's leaving Napoli, whether you like it or not. He has said he's leaving Napoli. Some persons are saying he should go to Chelsea. Some are saying Arsenal. Other clubs are also coming for him. But then, where do you think the African Footballer of the Year is going to end up this season? Well, the transfer window is going to get hot this time around. As a matter of fact, Osimhen could take yet another twist in the coming weeks should former Chelsea boss Antonio Conte take over the Italian side. But then Osimhen remains one of the most in-demand centre forward ahead of the transfer window, despite struggling to maintain his form from the 2022-2023 season. Though he was very fantastic, not that he was not doing well, he did very well, but he had a little struggle. If you notice, well, some persons may not really know what happened, but that's exactly what happened. But then that is not a shortcoming. That is not too bad for him not to be sought after, because he is the in-demand player right now as far as transfer is concerned. But then where is he going to end up? Antonio Conte? Well, I don't know, but then the relationship is so tight. But let's see how it's going to end for him, because he has actually netted a lot of goals this season. 26 goals in 32 Serie A appearances, and that is a good one if you ask me. And it's not easy. It's not easy to get such goals. 26 goals in 32 appearances. How many of his mates, how many of other players are doing that? Though some are doing more, but then looking at what Napoli striker, talking about Osimhen, has done, it is worth it, and it is a good one, and it is a good development coming from there. And of course, let's move to other things happening from the world of sports this morning. Osimhen just 17 goals in all competition in his following campaign. Moving away from there, Aston Villa manager, talking about Unai Emery, has signed a new 5-year contract. The Spaniard has been rewarded after guiding the Birmingham club to a fourth place finish. You know how that actually happened. The fourth place finish in the Champions League qualification last season. Emery is 52-year-old, and if you look at his performance, it's not so bad. And that is what a lot of fans and a lot of players and a lot of club owners look forward to, qualifying them for the Champions League. And he has transformed Villa's fortune since arriving in October 2022. That was when he arrived in the club, and since then his handwriting is obvious on the wall, and everyone is saying what he's actually doing. It is still Sport Rush live on your screen right here, and I'm reaching you live and direct from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, bringing you to speed with things happening from the world of sport this very beautiful day. As a matter of fact, well, I don't know, but then it was a very wonderful one, because arriving in October 2022 with the team just 3 points above the relegation zone, Emery is a four-time Europa League winner, following spells with Spanish clubs, and of course Sevilla and Villarreal. You know what happened right there when he was there. Let me just move away from there and come back to Nigeria and say just a few things from Nigeria, then I'll call it a wrap on the update coming on Sport Rush today. Nigeria is our home. We need to talk about Nigeria. And the number one person I want to talk about right now is Victor Osimhen, because he's going to be missing some games for the Super Eagles. Hey, come on. Can we say Finidi George is not lucky? These are the kind of players Finidi George actually need in his team, but then he won't be around. I'm talking about Victor Osimhen. Someone may be wondering, Osimhen, we would love to watch him. We would love to see him display, but then he's going to be away. Why is he going to be away? Just keep tab. I will tell you right away. The Victor Osimhen will miss the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifying matches against South Africa and Benin Republic due to an injury that he has sustained so far. This is injury, there is nothing you can do about it, because even if you bring him in with that injury, he's not going to function well, he's not going to perform well. This was announced on the Super Eagles official Twitter handle, okay, and of course that happened yesterday. According to the Post, Super Eagles coach Finidi George has also called up Enugu Rangers Kenneth Igboke. This is one of the things we talk about all the time. This is another opportunity for these guys playing in the Nigeria Professional Football League to get tested, because we have a lot of players in the Nigerian Professional Football League and they are not being called to the Super Eagles, to the bigger clubs, so that they can actually play. But now I think the absence of Osimhen somehow is paving way for Rangers Kenneth Igboke, and that's a good one happening right there. Well, last week George Neymar, the 23-man squad for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Nigeria Super Eagles will face against South Africa's Bafana in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, and that's going to be on the 7th day of June 2024, and that's going to be happening in our home front, and that game is a win-win for the Super Eagles, because you know the game, when you are playing at home, there is this home advantage that plays out, even though it may not be physical, but then there is this emotional and psychological attachment when you are playing back at home. Well, they need to win that game, and it's going to be coming up on the 7th day of June, followed by another away match against Benin Republic on June 10th, and that's going to be an away match. But then let's talk about the women. We always talk about the men in the world of sport, and the women may be saying, talk about us a little bit. Ramsey is going to talk about the women right now, and no but one person on my radar this morning is Asisat Oshoala. Some persons said, well, Asisat have been very fantastic, and she has come up to also win a lot of trophies, and she has also won a lot of awards. The Nigerian striker Asisat Oshoala has won again another award, that is the best goal for the UEFA Women's Champions League 2023-2024 season. How did it really happen? According to the information coming to us, Oshoala netted a stunning bicycle kick, oh my god, in Barcelona's 5-0 win over Benfica in their opening group game en route to the Catalans claiming the Champions League for the second consecutive season, all happening with Asisat Oshoala being involved in it. Of course, if you see that bicycle kick, you know that requires and desires an award. Well, that award is coming, and we are so excited with the Nigerian people, and Asisat Oshoala is actually making us proud in Barcelona. 5-0 was how that game ended. Finally, from right here, the Nigerian Football Federation have said the men's under-17 team, the Golden Eaglets, will not be at the 2025 Under-17 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. And of course, and not just that, resultantly, they will miss the 2025 Under-17 World Cup in Qatar. My God, this is not a good one. These are young lads that are supposed to be very, very enthusiastic with the game. How did they pick these players? That is another thing to look forward to, because Nigeria is blessed. We have a lot of players, but when it comes to tournament, you see Nigerians not doing well. Maybe because the syndrome of my boy must play, my boy have to be in that team and all of that. If not, they will be missing African Cup of Nations. As if that is not enough, they will not also go for the Under-17 World Cup happening in Qatar. That is not a good one, meaning the Under-17 World Cup, Nigerians may not be interested in watching it. You know how it happens this way. If Nigeria is not playing in any tournament, you know, Nigerians don't find it very interesting, except when it is Premier League, La Liga, Italian Serie A, Bundesliga. Then you see Nigerians saying, oh my God, they pay money to even go watch these games at the Viewing Center. But when it comes to Nigeria, they don't actually love doing that, especially when the Under-17 will not be part of the World Cup happening in Qatar. This is after failing to pick their ticket at the just concluded WAFU B tournament in Ghana. That's not a good one at all. And on this note, I'm going to be bringing Sport Rush update to a close right now. I'm going to be coming on your way again, and that's going to be on Wednesday when we hold it down again with more update coming from the world of sport. Just keep your tab and see what will happen from the world of transfer, because something is cooking. But then all the details we'll get right here on Sport Rush. My name is Ramsey. Have a beautiful day and have a wonderful day ahead of you. Bye-bye for now.